Who do you want to see? You, as a guy that's in his trainer, that's like a father figure to him. You're training him all the time. You know him.
Important announcement. I want to let everybody know I'm going to slap Jake Paul across his face because, oh, first and foremost, man, I'm tired of this YouTube boxing stuff, man. I really am. I am more tired of this YouTube boxing stuff than everyone else, man. Oh, let's make this happen, bro. Bro, I'll be ready in a week. I'll be ready to slap Jake Paul across the face in a week. I will slap Jake Paul across his face. But who cares? I don't care. Roll over Jake Paul 2025, bro. I knocked out another YouTuber. I knocked out... Bro. Jake Paul gets knocked out cold by me, bro.
Bro, he pulled up to Tootsie's and beat up a girl, dragged her through the parking lot, and punched her in the face. And it's like, bro.
Okay.
Like,
wait, but how do you know that happened?
it's a lawsuit. Miami-Dade is coming. There's video, like, everything, bro. He did this shit in public. Like, you have to understand, this guy was sober, driving to Tootsie's, and it's just like, I'm going to beat this girl up. Like, he wasn't even drunk. There's on video, and he ruins his own life, his own sport. He sets a bad example for people. Like, I don't know.
How can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Come on, like the way different and everything, it make no sense. It make no sense. Nikisa reached out the other day and tell me how they need a replacement for Gervonta. Then I say, okay, what can I do for you? He said, yeah, we're looking for a replacement, but I still haven't get it. I was like, okay, then what exactly can I do for you? Like, we think about you to fight Jake. I'm like, what? I'm like, who's Jake? I was so confused. I'm like, no, bro, come on. Don't disrespect me like that. He sent out some number. I'm like, it's not about the number. I'm not just interested. He make no sense for me.
Is it flattering at least that they're thinking about you?
I think it's disrespectful instead. What flattering? Come on.
The fight world just got flipped on its head. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Jake Paul is officially on the horizon, and the trash talk is already out of control. What started as a few social media jabs has exploded into a full-blown war of words between one of boxing's most explosive knockout artists and the sport's most polarizing disruptor. Legacies and egos are colliding with neither man backing down. Jake keeps it straightforward when explaining how he'll get the job done, and in his view, all it takes is showing up and letting his power speak for itself. He believes Gervonta's defense has plenty of gaps that he can definitely pick apart, even pointing to past performances as proof that Tank can be cracked wide open. Calm but confident, Jake sees this fight as more than just another payday. To him, it's fate that's led him here, delivering a moment to deliver Gervonta Davis the payback he's earned and shock the boxing world once again.
Jake, how you win this fight?
Just showing up. Honestly, yeah, I'm gonna knock him out. You know, he has a lot of flaws in his defense, and I'm gonna expose him. You know, look what a 135 Lamont Roach did to him, and it's just gonna be so much fun for me. I'm so glad that God gave me this moment. I'm Gervonta Tank Davis's karmic retribution.
The verbal sparring hit a boiling point when Gervonta took aim at Jake's style, mocking his outfit and clowning his mohawk. But Jake fired right back, turning the insult into ammunition. Calling Davis the real clown, he took things to a personal level, dragging Tank's past into the spotlight and capping it off with a cold, calculated jab, offering him a poodle as the crowd erupted. The exchange lit up the room, proving this rivalry runs far deeper than boxing.
How do you win this fight?
That outfit is trash. For real. That outfit is garbage. And that hairstyle. Anybody that ever rocked a mohawk is a fucking clown. We all know this. Anybody rock the mohawk. Name
You
them.
want to see clowns? You want to see clowns? Gervonta, you're the fucking clown, buddy. You're the fucking clown, Gervonta. Any man who puts his hands on a woman is the clown. I got you a poodle.
After that feisty exchange, Jake cooled the heat with confidence instead of chaos. When asked about stepping in against one of boxing's most explosive punchers, he broke it down with calm precision. His edge, he explained, comes from his reach, size, and ability to keep Tank at a distance. Tools he believes will expose holes in Davis's defense that others have missed. Giving credit where it's due, Jake called Gervonta one of the best in the sport, but made it clear he's more motivated than ever. To him, this fight isn't just a test. It's the moment he proves he can outbox a veteran who's been perfecting the craft far longer than he has.
Jake, I'll start with you. You certainly built your career on taking tough challenges. Now you're facing Tank, probably one of the most explosive punchers in the sport of boxing. What do you see as your biggest advantage going into this fight?
Yeah, I would say a lot of things, but I think first and foremost is going to just be my reach, my size, being able to keep him away. I think there's a lot of holes in his defense that a lot of people haven't exposed before, and he's a great fighter, one of the best. I'm excited. He's elevating me to a new height. He's making me push myself to my limits. I'm more locked in than ever, but at the end of the day, I know I'm going to be able to come out on top and outbox the guy who's been doing it for 7 times as long as me.
And Jake's vision goes far beyond just beating Gervonta Davis. For him, this fight marks the start of something bigger. He's quick to say he hasn't cemented his legacy yet. In his mind, he's only getting started. 5 years into his career, Jake sees this moment as the end of Chapter 1 and the beginning of Chapter 2. The point where he proves he's not just a sideshow, but a legitimate force in boxing. Beating Tank, he says, will silence even more critics and show the world that he can outbox one of the sport's top pound-for-pound fighters. Confident and focused, Jake promises that when people look back on this press conference, they'll realize he wasn't just talking, but instead he was foreshadowing something monumental.
You've talked too a lot about leaving a lasting legacy in the sport of boxing. You beat Tank Davis. Do you believe you've basically cemented yourself as one of the best in the sport?
Nah, not yet. I'm just getting warmed up, but this will certainly shut up a lot more people. Each fight has done that so far. Only 5 years as a pro, and feels like the last fight I had was the end of Chapter 1. This is the beginning of Chapter 2, and I'm only 28 years old. I have a lot more to prove, and once I beat this guy, more people will shut up, but at the end of the day, I'm really still just getting warmed up in the sport, and I'm going to show how good I am. You know, this is a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter that I'm going to outbox, and truly when people run back this press conference, all the shit talk, all the fun, they're going to be like, wow, this kid really is doing something monumental in the sport, and he's actually insane boxer, and I'm going to show that this guy who's been doing it his whole life has been doing it wrong his whole life.
On the other hand, when pressed about the possibility of losing to Jake Paul, Gervonta brushed it off with trademark composure. He didn't flinch, didn't hesitate, claiming a loss wouldn't shake his legacy or define who he is. Tank made it clear he's not obsessed with hypotheticals or public perception. His focus stays on the fight, not the noise around it. The calm in his voice said it all. Win or lose, Gervonta Davis's shadow still looms large over the sport.
Tank, so obviously, you know, you're fighting Jake, and this is the fight that's in front of you. That's what you focused on now. But I got to ask you, he's a bigger dude. You acknowledge that. He's stronger. He's got the size advantage. Let's say he would have knocked you out. Do you think that impacts your legacy, or even lose? Just a loss to Jake Paul. What kind of impact do you think that that has on your legacy?
I'm not really, I'm not sure. I'm not really big on it. I don't really, care at this moment.
So you're not concerned that a loss to Jake Paul would mean anything to you at all? It doesn't stop anything?
Why should I?
Got you.
He gonna still have his poodle after the loss.
As Gervonta shrugged off any concern about his legacy, Jake couldn't hide his eagerness to flip that calm into madness. When asked if this fight is his chance to make up for not finishing Mike Tyson, he didn't hesitate. It absolutely is. He admitted it's been too long since his last knockout, and he's hungry to feel that rush again. In his mind, he's already seen the vision. Tank laid out in amazing fashion. For Jake, this isn't just redemption. It's about delivering another viral career-defining moment that reminds everyone his power isn't just hype, it's headline material.
My follow-up question is for you, Jake. Jake, look, in the Mike Tyson fight, fans debate whether you were pulling back a little bit or whatever the case might have been with the outcome to it. In this fight, is it your intention to make up for that a little bit? Do you want to knock, Tank out? And is it a little bit about making up for maybe not doing that against Tyson?
Yeah, 100%. I haven't got a knockout in a long time, so I'm itching. It's been a couple of fights, and I believe truly I've manifested. I've saw the vision of him getting knocked out, highlight reel KO, and I'm just excited to be able to deliver that for the fans and have one of another most viral knockouts ever.
However, Jake explained that beneath all the trash talk, there's real respect for what Gervonta has accomplished. He called Tank one of the few true stars in American boxing, right alongside himself, and said that's exactly why this matchup makes sense. For Jake, it's the perfect storm, a high-stakes challenge, a career-defining step up, and a chance to prove he belongs on the same level as the sport's elite. He admits the size difference and danger make it a true 50-50 fight, but that's what drives him. This isn't just another payday, it's a vision he set in motion years ago, and now he's making it a reality on the biggest stage possible.
What made you wanted to fight a fighter like Gervonta Davis, who's been doing it his entire life? Knockout power, pinpoint accuracy, everything, etc.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've talked some shit to him, but I honestly respect him a lot as a fighter, as an entertainer, and he's one of the only other biggest name in America. Me and him are the biggest names in America in terms of boxing, so it only makes sense to fight. It's a challenge for me. It's a step up in my career, and because of the size and everything, that's what makes this a 50-50 fight. I always love challenging myself and doing the biggest events and partnering with Netflix and putting on shows. So that's what this is all about, and I put him on my list 4 years ago of someone that I would fight, and I just made it come true.
As Jake spoke about respect and legacy, Gervonta's response was plain confidence wrapped up in calm. When asked why he believes he'll be the one to finally stop Jake Paul, he didn't hesitate. Tank acknowledged Jake's size and power, but insisted his own speed, precision, and experience would be the difference. He explained that taller fighters always struggle against shorter, sharper ones, and he plans to make Jake feel that frustration early. Tank expects him to hold his ground for a few rounds, but once the pace picks up and the fire starts flying, he's certain the fight will swing his way. In his mind, when the heat rises, Jake's composure and his chin won't hold for long.
I said that a lot of fighters have stepped up to fight Jake Paul, and a lot of fighters claimed that they were going to be the fighter to stop him. What makes you think that you can be the fighter to stop him? And if you can stop him, do you think you can stop him?
Yeah, for sure. I think I can stop him. I'm much quicker than him. He's much stronger, much bigger, but we all know that tall fighters is a taller fighter. A shorter person is hard to fight a taller person. So, I mean, well, a taller person is hard. It's hard to fight a shorter person. So, we know he's gonna be definitely frustrated. You know, he's slower. You know, his arm reach not that much longer. We just gotta wait and see until we get in there and test the waters. But I'm for sure though that he decent and he gonna hold up for a couple rounds. But once it get hot in there.
Jake pushed back hard, flipping the script from respect to assault. He painted Tank as an emotionally driven fighter who lets moments and mistakes rattle him, even pointing to past lapses in judgment as evidence that Davis can be distracted. Downplaying the experience gap, Jake insisted speed won't save Tank from the holes he sees in that defense, and promised he'll be the one turning up the pressure until the lights go out. For him, it's simple. Test the mind, break the rhythm, finish the job. And this statement of his led to another heated exchange between the two fighters, giving us all a glimpse into what it'll actually look like inside the cage.
The same question to you. What makes you think that you can stop Tank Davis with your lack of experience in the ring?
This fight has people talking, and actor and martial artist Michael Jai White weighed in and gave credit where it's due, acknowledging Jake Paul's knack for creating bold, attention-grabbing matchups. But when it came to picking a side, he leaned toward Gervonta Davis. Michael pointed out that Tank's experience sparring bigger opponents and that deadly uppercut make him a real threat despite the size difference. In his view, Davis's youth, speed, and technical sharpness more than make up for Jake's physical edge, and that's why he's betting on Tank to get it done. On the other hand, Emilio Vargas views the entire matchup from a different angle. For him, it's less about skill or legacy and more about spectacle. He chuckles at the word exhibition, insisting the fight is pure business from start to finish. In his eyes, Jake Paul cracked a code most career boxers never did, that boxing thrives on attention, not titles. It's the headlines, the clicks, and the chaos that pack arenas, not the belts on a fighter's waist. Vargas notes that Jake earns in one night what many champions don't see in years, not because he's the most talented, but because he's mastered the art of staying watched. Love him or hate him, people tune in, and that's the real currency. So after all the madness, the insults, and the mind games, who really comes out on top when the gloves finally touch? Is it Gervonta Tank Davis, the seasoned knockout artist with years of experience and ruthless precision? Or Jake Paul, the fearless disruptor who's made a career out of proving doubters wrong? Drop your predictions in the comments. Who do you think walks away victorious? And as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more fight breakdowns, drama, and all things boxing.